because then they're sick way beyond what they should be, like before they know it.
Because they didn't do anything.
And they weren't paying attention.
Did I ever tell you that story about my thyroid? Did I ever tell you that story?
No, tell me about your thyroid.
Well, I had been, I went through a horrible time in my life financially, and I wasn't eating right. But everything else was pretty much the same, except for I lost a whole bunch of weight.
Had you already been diagnosed thalassemia at that point?
Yes.
Okay, so you already knew about that.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and my hair was a little brittle, but I was outside all the time for my job, and it was bleached, so I figured it was sun damage, right? You know, I never thought anything about it because I'd never been sick. And one night, my husband, this is right when we first moved in together, even before we were married, and he was rubbing my feet, and I about went through the roof. And he goes, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Oh, my God, that hurts so bad." So, of course, I looked it up. It was my thyroid, and I read all about it. I researched all about it.
So the point on your foot that he hit was directly related to your thyroid. You looked it up, and you found it out. Cool.
Yep. And so I researched it, and I found out that 85% of women on the Great Lakes, in the Great Lakes area, suffer from thyroid. And we talked about how you need salt.
And iodine.
And that's one of the problems. We don't have iodized salt. But anyway, so I read how to help it, and it was sea kelp was one of the ways. So I take one... They're coming to get
for us.
We didn't do it. I take one little tiny sea kelp pill every single day. Oh, and my hair was falling out.
Oh, my gosh.
My skin was dry, but I attributed it all to being outside so much because I was outside 6-7 hours a day.
Right.
And,
but you'd never had that problem before, and you had been outside in the past.
I wasn't gaining weight.
Right.
So I never attributed it to thyroid. So I took that sea kelp, and I take it still, and I've never had, knock on wood, any more problems. And that spot on my foot, every now and then, I'll get my chart out and just poke around down there just to see if there's anything wrong. And no.
I got to tell you a really quick story about thyroid points on the feet. So, I was on Facebook one day, and you know that...
Is this recently?
A couple years ago.
Okay.
So you know that Wish app that pops up where they got all these crazy, like, things? Like, they've got clothes they sell.
Oh, yes.
And they've got, like, all these crazy things. I mean, I've seen some doozies. I mean, I've seen female urinals, and I've seen, you know... pleasure devices. I've seen all kinds of stuff pop up on there. I'm like, really? Is this Facebook appropriate? But they had these little rings on there, and they were made in China, and they were supposedly to help you lose weight. And it was a weight loss treatment. I'm like, weight loss? What weight loss from these rings? And it was they were like rubbery plastic rings with a little magnet, and you're supposed to wear them on your big toe. And it was supposed to make you lose weight. And so, you know, my inquiring mind is like, I got to figure that out. I got to figure. So I ordered them. They were $1.
Well, you have to order them for $1.
Well, it was $1, and it came. I think that was all shipping. You know, so they came from China. It took them like 18 weeks to get there.
Oh, did you forget what they were by the time?
I did. And then they came, and I'm like, oh, I got to read the instructions because I figured that'd tell me everything.
Right.
Yeah, that was in Chinese.
Oh,
so there was like a picture, thank goodness, that showed you where you were supposed to wear them and how you were supposed to wear them.
So was the magnet supposed to be up or down?
The magnet was supposed to be under your big toe.
Okay.
So you wear these rings with this magnet under your big toe. So I got my reflex point book out, and I started looking. It's the thyroid point. It was the thyroid point. And I was like, duh. If you stimulate your thyroid, yeah, you might start losing weight. I get it. I get it.
So magnetically,
I don't know if the magnetic even mattered so much, but just there being something on there pressing. It'd be like you rubbing your points, you know. So I put them on my big toes because I was like, I'm going to try to lose weight.
Yeah, you have to try that.
Yeah, well, for sure. So I'm running around the house, and usually, like on the weekends, I'm a putzer. Right? Like if I don't have anywhere to be, anything to do, I'll just kind of putz around the house. I'll do a little laundry. I'll do a little dishes. I'll do a little dusting. I'll do a little of this, do a little of that. I never get anything done, but I always get something done of some part of it, but I never get to the end of it because it's like, you know.
But it's your time to relax and do whatever you feel like doing.
And with a family of 5, it's shoveling snow in a blizzard. So it's like I'm just doing, you know. So about 3-4 hours go by and my toes hurt. I was like, oh crap, I've been walking on these things too long. So I took them off. And as I reflected, because I was trying to reflect on, you know, did this do anything? I was like, well, I was doing my putzing like I always do. I went in the laundry room and I had stacks of done laundry. I went in the kitchen and every dish was clean. I went in my room. My closet was organized. Everything was dusted. I was like, I did all this? Like I didn't
Thank you, little rings.
I didn't even think while I was doing it that how much I was actually accomplishing and getting done. And it was like 5 times the amount of work I normally do. And I didn't feel any different. I was just doing what I do. But I must have been just, and I didn't even know it, you know. Wow. It gave me that much energy and everything. So they did hurt, like to wear them for a long period of time. So I started getting up, putting them on, wearing them around in the morning. Actually, I would take my shower, get out of the shower, put the rings on, wear them around the morning while I was getting coffee and doing my putzing, and getting dressed and everything. And then right before work, I would take them off so that I wouldn't be wearing them all day. And, you know, I probably lost about 8 pounds.
Wow.
Over the course of maybe 2 months.
Still, that's very good.
Yeah, I wasn't trying. I didn't modify anything else.
Interesting.
So I thought that was kind of cool. But really what it was doing was it was stimulating my thyroid. Right. And I figured it out because I couldn't read Chinese. So I had to figure it out. I wonder if it
said stimulate thyroid in there somewhere.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does somewhere.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it was kind of neat. I was pretty impressed with it. So.
Okay, time for poop.
Oh, very good. Okay. Oh, let me see if there's anything else. So pancreas, low back, shoulder, right shoulders, liver. Oh, I just want to tell you really quick, like groin area could be your kidney, which is weird. Oh. Low back pain, everybody thinks of that as kidney, but it can actually go down into your groin area. And even into your legs. Left leg is kidney, right leg is bowel. So when you're having right leg sciatica or pains in your right leg, it could be your bowel.
I had sciatica in my left leg.
Oh.
And my left leg it could be my kidneys.
That's almost always a kidney problem. When it's left-legged sciatica, it's almost always a kidney issue. If it's going to be the organ.
Interesting.
Yeah, if it's the organ itself. Okay, now we'll move on to poop.
Okay. I think poop is a really good subject because everybody poops. Everybody wants to poop. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs to poop. And if you have
I don't know if everybody wants to poop. I think some people get really weirded out by it. Like they don't even want to poop. I've met people who avoid pooping. Yeah. Because they don't like it.
But deep down inside, they really want to.
Deep down inside, they really have to. I'm just saying, you have to. You got to get it out. Man. So, poop can tell you a lot. Poop to me is little text messages from my insides. Doesn't talk. Mine does.
Oh. Hi, Julia.
Not like that.
Oh, it's underwater.
But sometimes it talks crap behind my back. It's got bad breath. Patrick chimed in. That's true. That's true. Okay, so
Oh.
pooping can tell you a lot about your insides and about how things are working inside of you. And one of the things that I ask people is, what does your poop look like? And you know how many people give me a look when I ask them that? I never look at it.
Bullshit.
Why? Exactly, for one. But secondarily, why not? Like, don't you want to know?
It's coming out of you.
Yeah. I mean, I look at mine every time. I mean, I don't sit there with a microscope. I'm not, getting my face down there, but I look at it because I want to know what's happening that day. So color is one thing. Color can tell you a lot. So, what's a normal color? Well, a normal color is chocolate brown. It should be brown. If it's orangey or lighter yellow, you're having pancreas issues.
Huh.
If it's greenish, you're having gallbladder issues. If it's clay colored, it's
like rusty kind of.
No, like light.
Like light clay,
almost like a white sand
Oh,
color,
right,
like
okay.
light clay colored.
Right.
That's an issue. That's a terrible issue. That has more to do with liver and things like that. If it's darker, like black, almost tarish, that's a bad deal. That could be blood in your stools. It could also be that you're not breaking down your dairy properly.
Mm-hmm.
So real acidic stools are like sticky and dark and almost black and just, like it takes you a million times to wipe to get it off because it's so sticky. And it shouldn't be that way. If there's an issue like that, there's a problem. So you got to pay attention, and you can Google it. I mean, I don't have the list in front of me. I don't memorize everything, but you can Google,
don't?
No, I try, but
you do a good job. But I just got finished with that. Patrick says a shit list. That's pretty funny.
I do have a shit list, but that's a totally different subject.
God, I hope I'm not on it. But when you eat differently, of course, it's going to affect what color it is.
Exactly.
So you're not talking about, like, I know when I drink a glass or two of red wine with dinner, it's darker.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. But that could mean you're having liver dysfunction because of your alcohol intake. That could mean that it put a burden on the liver, and then your liver's making dark stools. But no, I'll give you, for example, for what you're saying. When my kids were little, they came out with this awesome new Kool-Aid that was blue.
Right.
And I didn't know that Patrick, my husband, because I was at school all day long, I didn't know they had gone to the store and gotten blue Kool-Aid.
Razzleberry or something like that. Yep, I remember that.
So I came home and I found a blue turd in the toilet, and it never got flushed. I mean, my kids were little. And I flipped. I was like, oh my gosh!
Somebody's dying.
Blue?
You're turning into a Smurf.
You have Smurf disease. Who is it? Which one of you was pooping blue? And I was freaked out about it. But, I was still in school. I didn't know what it meant. I just knew that wasn't right. And Patrick's laughing. I come out. I'm freaking out about this blue poop. And he's laughing. He goes, oh, I got the kids a new drink and it was blue. I'm like, okay, that explains it. But...
I made Errol, who's in his 30s now, a Cookie Monster birthday cake.
Oh, with blue frosting.
And I did each hair, with blue, and I licked my finger and I'd work on it some more. And the next morning I went to the bathroom and it was blue. I mean, it was so blue. And I'm going, oh my God.
What did I do? What's wrong with me?
I'm not going to tell anybody today. It's his birthday. And
I'm
I
dying.
didn't say anything. And then I went out and I saw that cake and I could just see myself going time after time licking my finger. And that's what it was from, that blue dye.
It's so funny.
So same thing.
So
razzleberry poop disease.
Yeah, that's not what we're referring to when we talk about poop.
But from doing that 8-day cleanse that I did, I could tell the difference in my poop from that.
Oh yeah. And even the celery thing. If my pancreas is causing dysfunction, my poop will be kind of like yellowish, like a light color, like orangey yellow. And if I eat celery for a couple days,
boom, it goes chocolate
right back,
again.
Right back to chocolate.
So
right back to chocolate.
So, you've often heard that term that your poop should flow.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've heard that before, but I'm not a big proponent of that.
Oh, good. Okay. So what is the ideal